Well, let's think about the Saints now at 11, because if you look at New Orleans at 11, Cleveland at 12, you want your quarterback there. I mean, if New Orleans wants a quarterback, you need to do it now, right?
Yeah, I think that
I'd say so.
I don't know if I'm New Orleans. Yeah, I think you have to do it now, and that's something And I know Sean Payton very, very well. I worked with Sean. He was very envious of Scott Linehan and what he was able to do to work with, with the quarterback with
Dak.
Dak, yeah, and I felt like that. Sean's like, you talk to him and he's like, hey, listen, it's nice to have a quarterback that doesn't always check out of every play. I don't want to throw the ball 40 times, but here I am, I'm throwing it 46 times. So I think he was very, very envious of working with Dak. And so if in fact they go, I mean, let's look at the Saints, at their needs. We've talked about that. New Orleans could go like their first in pass offense. Here we are talking about getting a quarterback. First in pass offense, 16th in run offense, but 32 in pass defense and 14th in run defense. Do you feel like they have to take Lattimore here?
I was going to say I'm awfully intrigued by the idea of them going to get Malik Hooker.
Well, if you think about it, that defensive end, cornerback, quarterback, strong safety, inside linebacker.
Okay, so Kansas City jumped in front of New Orleans because New Orleans liked Pat Mahomes. Let's play that game.
Yeah.
Let's play that game.
So that's absolutely right.
Do they still want quarterback? If you're in Cleveland, your fingers are crossed that Deshaun Watson doesn't go off the board right here. But with New Orleans, did you want that quarterback? Because if you wanted that quarterback this year to think about the future and get ahead of Drew Brees, you got to do it now. But unless you want to talk about Kaiser later on or something like that.
Well, here's the thing, though, is – and it never works that way. I feel like, we're sitting here thinking like, well, you missed out on Mahomes. Maybe you get Watson. But did they like Watson that much that they're going to take him one pick later?
I just think the quality of quarterback drops off right here.
I think you're 100%
Watson goes,
right.
I think there's a huge drop off.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much you like Peterman. I mean, there's some people that probably felt like that Mahomes, Peterman, maybe the same.
Let's say that this pick is not Watson. And then
it's maybe Hooker or Lattimore.
I like Lattimore here.
I'm thinking purely quarterback. If it's not Watson doesn't last to 32. I don't think.
No.
So then maybe, but if you want to get your quarterback at 32, if you're the Saints with that second pick, does Kaiser last that long? Is there a guy that you like there that you can get at 32 and get that option on? I don't know.
It makes a lot of sense. That's probably a game they're playing and why it's taking so much time to get the pick in.
Yeah, the Saints are right at a minute 15 on the clock. They're trying to determine. They have two picks in the round.
We didn't even mention the guy. We talk about people talking about a guy being locked in the mock drafts. Derek Barnett's been linked with the Saints for a long time now, and he's still there. So I don't know.
Yeah, that can make sense.
But then I wouldn't imagine the Saints ever would have guessed Marshon Lattimore would still be there at 11 either. I mean, people were thinking he's a top 3 pick.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, this might exactly played right into the Saints' hands. They clearly could get the best cornerback in the draft.
I think, and Marshon Lattimore is my best player left on my board at this point. Immediate step in and really have an immediate impact. I really like Marshon Lattimore, should that be the pick.
Why do you like Lattimore?
I just think Lattimore, when you watch him, and I thought he separated himself from a very good cornerback class. I thought he separated himself from the rest of the pack as the clear number one. Just the way he moves, the way he breaks on the ball. He had 4 interceptions in 2016. He turns and runs. It's so easy.
It's effortless the way he plays, isn't it?
He really is. And he was shutting down all the routes. A stop. You want to run a stop and go on him. You want to try to go deep on him. He's very confident. He's a capable tackler. I wouldn't say he's a really good tackler, but nothing could really shake him. And I think those are the things that really made him, my number one cornerback in the draft and a lot of people's number one cornerback.
Yeah, you watch him work out. He is just so smooth. Yeah. I mean, he is so smooth.
Yeah.
I just think the Saints have got I understand the quarterback love, but my gosh, you were 32nd in pass defense.
Yeah. Oh, no. And their pass defense has been a wreck for a while.
Sure.
They've been working on that.
Yeah. Well, the pick's in right now. We're waiting for the commissioner to go to the podium. I think you make a great point, though, KT. I really, really do. I just don't know how if the best cornerback is on the board and you're a team that's struggling to stop people from throwing the football, this is like a gift.
Probably didn't think he'd get there
in fact, but again, it could be Watson. I was telling you what Sean Payton was thinking about. Like, hey, I'd love to coach a guy. I'm envious of coaching a guy like Dak Prescott.
Maybe it's Hooker, and you're thinking I can get a cornerback later. But for me, I'm just going off my board. My best player remaining is Marshon Lattimore. Didn't even think he'd get to 11. So
yeah,
Marshon Lattimore can make your defense like noticeably better.
We were talking about Marshon Lattimore like 8 picks ago.
Yeah.
That's Chicago. Okay, commissioners walking the podium. Here we go.
With the 11th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans select Marshon Lattimore, defensive back, Ohio State.
They're going to be smart Saints.
Commissioner Goodell just said the New Orleans.
Yeah.
Left off the Saints.
He left off the Saints, but they'll be happy they got Marshon Lattimore right there. I promise you right there. There's the team, 6 foot, 193 pounds, 4'3", 640. That is a good football player.
Makes sense. And
you throw it, and he played in a division where they chuck it every time. You're dealing with Carolina, with Tampa. It just makes too much. Atlanta, it just makes too much sense to draft a cornerback there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially the best one.
And it's one of those things that you can easily overthink, though. Like something I mentioned a minute ago, like depth of the cornerback class. Maybe I can get a little value here with Malik Hooker, or take a chance on someone else. I'd really sit there, take your best player. That's how you draft right there. Take the best player you got on the board, and Marshon Lattimore had to have been the best player on the board for them, because it was quite clear in a cornerback class this deep. When you separate yourselves, that's really impressive.
I'm not trying to take credit away from Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton, but it's easy to go BPA when it's a beast of a player that you never thought would be there at one of the game's four most important.
Let me ask you this: you think you're a New Orleans resident?
Native. I do not live there currently.
Yeah.
There's a difference there, but I get
native,
your point.
Native of the great the city. But you think everybody's okay with this one?
I know a lot of people in the media and Saints fans who were frothing at the mouth that both Saints picks in the first round need to be defense. It's a lot like the Cowboys. They need pass rush. They need corners. They want them both. I heard a lot of people saying Derek Barnett. I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams would have thought the best corner.
Yeah, defensive end. That would have made a lot of sense, though.
Yeah. But I guarantee you that this is overwhelmingly being received with favor in New Orleans. There's no doubt.